going to be very succinct here. It's been a little while, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, maybe even longer than that, since the big reveal of the Boris Johnson scandal, how he and his cronies were living it up when they told the rest of the UK that they needed to stay indoors and stay apart from each other, and et cetera, and so on. Now, with this story and others like it, because there are others like it, there are plenty of others like it. There's a lot of other stories of members of the power elite just doing pretty much what they feel like doing and living it up and partying hard and partying hardy and hard while telling the rest of us, you're bad people. If you're rattling at the cage that we've put you in. So it's one thing to talk about hypocrisy, and that's a part of part of the truth here. But here's the bigger issue. Here's where the devil is in the details, and here's where you have to use your thinking cap a little bit to understand the real scandal here. Okay. You're Boris Johnson, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, or you're some other head of state, or you're some other, powerful person, either elected or unelected. Someone like you has in all likelihood, just use common sense. Someone like you, if you are Boris Johnson or someone like him, someone like you probably has a greater sense of what's really happening, of what's actually going down, than the average Joe who just has to settle for the scraps that they throw, scraps of information and misinformation and disinformation that they throw his way. But if you're high enough on the food chain, you don't necessarily know everything, but you have I think it's logical to say you have a better idea of what's going on. Now, I am not going to say anything explicit here, that because this is YouTube, and you can't be explicit about certain truths. But I'm just going to ask you this: if you were Boris Johnson, and you were in the know, and if the reality was, as you were saying the reality was, would you be living the kind of life that you were living? Or, conversely, if reality was the way that you said it was, would you not be doing what you were lecturing the public to be doing? If, again, the message that you were broadcasting to the public were the truth. Or, if the truth were otherwise, were something other than the message that you and your cronies were all broadcasting to their subjects, supposedly citizens, but really subjects, I would say. Slaves on their plantation. Maybe I could even say that. If the truth was exactly what you were telling the public, wouldn't you be observing the same protocols? I mean, if you had an interest in self-preservation. If you were not observing those same protocols, this is the closest I'm going to get. I'm just going to have to tell you all to connect the rest of the dots. If you and your cronies were habitually not observing the same protocols, and you and your cronies are in all likelihood closer to knowing the truth than the average Joe who was getting lectured to do this and not do that and so forth, well, what does that tell you about where the truth really stands? That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to let you all connect the dots from there, because this is YouTube, and you can't reveal too much truth here. But Think about it.